So, recently, I've been streaming a game called Apex Legends. Apex Legends came out 2 years ago, and when I started playing it again, it was in its 2 year anniversary, limited time event, which was really cool. I got some great skins off of that. It's whatever. But, Apex Legends used to be a game I played all the time. I used to come home from class and play it as soon as possible because I loved the game. And then I didn't. I just stopped playing it. So, what happened? Today, we're gonna look at Apex Legends 2 years later. Apex Legends has been this awesome game since release, beating out Fortnite in streams, live streams. Since release, it's been one of the most popular games out there, like all the time. And then it just dropped off, instantly. People still play it, and it's got a pretty dedicated fan base, right? But it's not anything near Fortnite or COD. So why is this game something that feels so nostalgic and yet is still so played? When Apex Legends was released, it received a giant boom in popularity in the first month, becoming the most streamed game out there, becoming the most viewed game out there. It was insane. But soon it just diminished. I think it kind of dropped off in a large, steep curve, and that's when I stopped playing initially, because I used to play Apex all the time, and now I don't. And I think that's really important because if I don't play Apex anymore, so do millions of others. Because when I wasn't doing this YouTube thing, right, and I wouldn't stick to a game because I liked streaming it, right, I would play it because it was fun and it just diminished. So it really kind of dropped off for a lot of people after around season 2 was when I stopped playing it about finally, and then I picked it up one last time now to see what it was like, so I could make this video. So yeah, let's talk about what it's like 2 years later. Apex Legends still has the Apex Legends feel. It has all the original legends that everyone made memes about when it came out. It has the supply drops, the Mozambiquers, never mind. And it's got all of the weapons that you would expect in Apex Legends. It's got some new ones. Some of the older weapons that you might have remembered have changed. Different ammo systems change. But overall, weapons in Apex Legends remain about the same. The feel of the guns and the feel of the time you spend playing it is very similar. Some of the new legends make it much more interesting. For example, Loba. Loba can, scan areas for loot, and then you can just pull it out of her portal. That's such a good character. Revenant, my personal favorite because he's scaly. He's really cool. And it's just, all of these characters work so well with the original characters of Wraith and them. Like Wraith, Gibraltar, and Bangalore. It's really great feel. And the fact that there's a whole new map gives you a new challenge. You don't know where you go, right? If I'm dropping into the new map Olympus, right, I won't know 100% of the time where I want to go. If I'm going Olympus, I know maybe one or two spots that I like and that I can actually go and have fun in, right? Where there's 20 others that may be just as good but are slightly different, so I don't go there. Another thing I wanted to mention, the loadout drops, you know how when the care packages fall and there are items in there, that's changed quite a bit. So the original care package items were Caber and Mastiff, right? Or at least that's what I have in my memory. And you could get legendary versions of the base game guns. But what you get now is Mastiffs are common, and they're almost everywhere in these little crate things that you see on screen. And the Cabers are the only remaining red gun in the loadout drops. mixed in with the Cabers are the Peacekeeper and the Prowler, both guns that you used to be able to get when you like started the game, which I find really cool because it shifted up the meta. And people used to love the Peacekeeper, and now it's a rare drop. So OG players want it, right? Because it's what they're used to. And new players want it because it's a Peacekeeper. It's got that name to it. The community knows about it. And I think that's really important. Apex Legends survived this long because it had such a great community. It held on through giant player drops and giant player spikes. Apex Legends carried out such a good legacy. I really wish I could have seen it do better, because I feel like Apex could have been so much better if they just tried a little harder early on. And if they released everything we have now when the game was released, I think the game would be an instant #1 bestseller. Apex Legends is really fun now. The way characters interact with the world is almost intimate. It's a great battle royale game, and if you missed battle royale or style shooter games, this is one for your books. I think Apex Legends has spent a lot of time on itself over the time where there's been a large player drop, and I still find it really enjoyable. Racking up a laser beam of bullets with an R301 is still as fun as it was at the beginning. The alternator is still a behemoth of a weapon that gets completely overlooked. The Mozambique's gotten much better, and yet it's still trash. Like, the game knows when to take itself seriously and what to keep. The game doesn't make the Mozambique as good as a Mastiff or a Eva because it's a pistol when it shouldn't be a shotgun, right? So we're not gonna make it super powerful, but what we are gonna do is we're gonna make it good, right? And I think Apex Legends excels at balance. Every gun in the game could be used in a final circle situation. Almost every one of them. Every gun in the game is also incredibly common. You could find your loadout in 10 minutes depending on where you dropped. For example, I decided to drop in some random place, like in the middle of nowhere, right? Because I wanted to drop into Estates, which is a location that's normally pretty high. But I didn't get my drop right, and I was dropping into a place nearby, and I got my Flatline, my favorite gun, and an R301 instantly. This is insane. Except if this was Fortnite or some other game with balancing issues, where if you get the God gun at the beginning of the game or your favorite gun, then you can get an easy win. I died in that game to another person with a Flatline and an Eva, and the Eva rivaled my R301 because once both of our Flatline ARs were empty, they decided to swap to the shotgun, whereas I decided to swap to the AR, and I failed. I think Apex Legends is really good right now. I think you should go play it. It's really, really good. Apex Legends has always been and will always be a great game. Also, if you love the Titanfall universe, you're going to love Apex because it's set in the same universe. There's a couple of callbacks, and apparently we're getting Titans in Apex, so yeah, that's kind of neat. Anyways, I'll see you in the next one. My name has been The Reasonable Demon, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.